a VidSummit recap, as well as the first time testing out the vertical video live streaming with YouTube using mobile. Now you may see that I am not in my normal setup, and that is because we're moving. We are moving, and currently I thought I might have access to the filming area. It was the last section of the room that I was going to tear down, but we have some handymen here and I can't be in that room. So I'm just in a separate room. So I don't have, obviously, all of my lights. I don't have my big eCam setup. I got nothing. I just have my phone and testing this out vertically. So one, let me know if you can hear me, because I'm also using a different external mic system, which I don't usually have on me. And I should have gotten a couple of like the portable lights or something. When we were at VidSummit, and we will talk about that, Aperture gave us a little portable light, one of the MC lights, which I had seen in a Peter McKinnon video, and I'd wanted one for, oh good, I'm so glad. I'd wanted one forever, and we got one at the speaker lunch. So let's chat a little bit about VidSummit. So VidSummit was held in Dallas, Texas this year, which is a change from where it's been. It's been in LA for the last, I guess, 9 years. So this time it was moved to the kind of Irvine Convention Center, and it's a much larger venue. The Wi-Fi somewhat, even though it wasn't great, it worked, okay? And just there was a lot more space. So it was a completely different venue than before. I will say the downside of being in that particular space is that you had to be much more intentional about meeting up with people, because there was no just, walking through the lobby or going to the restaurant. And the restaurant wasn't that good in LA either. And the service was always really slow. So you had to be very much intentional about meeting up with people, going to the hotels that were within the vicinity, or then Ubering and like planning out how long it would take you to get to your destination and back. But I will also say that at the hotel that it used to be held at in LA, the elevators, the lines were always so long that it would take forever to get up to your room if you forgot something. It was probably less time this year to walk across the street to the hotel, go get what I needed, come back down, and then go back into the convention center. So there's that for you. Much, much larger. DePaul, were you there? Oh my gosh, I want to hear, and the Man About Tech, Viper, my co-MC host, and we're going to talk about that too. Let me know, what did you guys think of it? And Viper, did you do your recap email to Owen? Owen was our head MC, Owen Hemsath. And so I did a recap, and I was like, maybe I don't have his email, or it's like, I don't know if it's actually his. It's not just his like marketing email. So I just sent it in a DM to him. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you thought it went too. Actually, anybody in the chat here. So DePaul and Viper, I would love to hear your thoughts about the venue, the speakers, like everything, and all your thoughts. Recap email. Owen had asked us to send him a recap on what we thought went well, or maybe thoughts and improvement for the whole process, as it were. And so I wrote out a list of a few things that I thought like could be improved upon, or that I liked and that I wanted to see again. And then I snuck in at the very end. I'm like, so does this mean maybe if I give you some feedback, maybe we get to do it again? And by we, I mean me, because you're always there and you're always there too, since you've been there 3 years in a row. So I was like, maybe you can invite me back. So there was that. Now, I feel like the days are really long at VidSummit. And you know what? I was speaking with someone. In fact, it was Rob from vidIQ. I saw him on the very last morning that I was there. I was having breakfast, and Tish was there. And they were just finishing up breakfast as I was coming in. So we only got to chat for a second. But he was kind of asking, if you start hearing my dog, sorry. He was asking me if, yeah? Uh-huh. It's live. What are you gonna do? He was asking me, do you think it's easier to be an MC, or do you think it's easier to be a speaker? And I was like, oh my gosh, hands down, it is so much easier to be at VidSummit as a speaker because, buddy, mommy's trying to live stream. Because you're on from bell to bell, like, from the very beginning to the end. And there's a lot more of herding cats that is happening. Whereas, let's say you're a speaker, even if you're a speaker towards the last day, you really have a concentrated amount of time where you're on and that you're nervous for and you've prepared your slides for. And then after that, it's pretty much like, whew. And then the rest of the time you can like mix and mingle and, meet up with whoever you want to, all of that stuff. And I was like, I think it's actually harder to be an MC because you were there, before the first talk, after everyone has left. You have to know if the speaker is going to have Q&A. So you know how long, if you have a water break, to come back to like be holding the mic for questions. You have to like keep time and make sure that the video guys know how long the sessions are, because there was a weird thing this year where some sessions were 45 minutes, some were 30 minutes, some were 70 minutes. And so you always had to tell them like how long each sessions were. You had to ask the speaker, do you plan on doing Q&A? Making sure that you manage the queue so that even if you run over, because there was only about 10 minutes in between sessions, I was like, so if they run over, you don't want to cut into the next person's time, which I think is like really, really rude. And so I try very, very hard to make sure that everything's always like running on time. Because I think it's respectful to both the people who are on stage, the off stage. So I was like, I think people would think it's a lot easier than maybe doing a speaking gig, but I actually think it's a little bit harder. You can disagree with me. You can let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. Viber, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I personally think it's just because it's prolonged madness versus concentrated madness. So let's see here. So it was great. You're correct about having to be intentional on meeting up with people. Yep, the vibe was different this year in a good way. Yeah, I agree with that. It was definitely less bro-y this year. I feel like Daryl really made a big effort to make sure that it was diverse, not only in terms of who was on what stages, but like diversity of speakers and just topics. Although it was very AI heavy, there was a lot of AI stuff going on, but that makes sense because that's the space that we're in right there. So I did a great job as MC. Thank you. I appreciate that. Man About Tech says VidSummit was amazing. Definitely correct about being intentional on meeting up with people. Yep. Even the networking party was so spaced out, it was hard to locate people. Yeah, totally. Because the convention center is so huge, they basically had an entire floor level, including an outdoor patio area that people could like mix and mingle and get their drinks or cocktails or have different like standing things. I am really old though. I'm always that person that's like, does it have to be so loud? Because even by the end of the cocktail party, I'm like, my voice is scratchy and straining because I'm yelling at people trying to like talk to them. But hey, James Pruitt, great to see you. And the Man About Tech says, I've never been a speaker at an event, but I imagine being an MC would be harder. Yeah, I have done both. I agree. It is harder. There's no doubt, because I spoke VidSummit 2 years ago, and this year I was an MC, and I would say it was significantly harder, more sustained brain power to be an MC. Basically being the manager of people in real, exactly, precisely. So speakers don't have to worry about anyone but themselves. That is very true. Yeah, yeah. Might as well have been another planet. Yeah, I know, man. It's true. Speakers have a very like focused, like, do I have water? Do I have my slides? Do I have a mic check? Do I have different things like that? And so I think it is a lot easier to be kind of selfish, but just very, it's not selfish. It's just, you're not expected to be on the, the lookout for everyone else in that situation, much like an MC is. Not only are you managing, the video people, you're managing the speaker themselves and making sure, like, do they have everything they need? Do they feel taken care of? Do they feel like they know what they're supposed to be doing, how much time they are going to be having, what the expectation is for, what happens before and after. So and there was sometimes a little bit of like hyping up too before, not just of the crowd, but like of the speaker, because a lot of them would be like, I'm really nervous, I'm not sure. And I had the pleasure of my very first talk getting to introduce someone who has been a friend of mine for actually several years. And we met way back in the day when we were both making beauty videos. And so I really got to be like, you're going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. You remember that one time when we, remember that one time at band camp? And so it was really a moment to like reflect. And one thing I did kind of come across is that I know people. And I always feel like going to VidSummit is like a reunion, but I feel like the more and more years I go, the more and more people I know, right? That rhymed. The more and more I go, the more people I know. But it's true. And so as I was, the very first day, we got our room assignments, and we were told, okay, you'll be in, this particular ballroom for the majority of the day. So whoever's assigned to that ballroom will be the people that you're introducing. And that was great, because then I could kind of like thumb through and be like, okay, who's this person? Do I know this person? And then I would go on and I would be like, how do I pronounce this person's name? Let me go find some videos. What can I say as a fun factoid about them? So I would be like, basically Googling the next speaker for a lot of the times before I would introduce them, because I wanted to introduce them with something, But the pleasant surprise really came when I realized, like, I know some of these people. I have personal stories with some of these people. I have connections with some of these people. And so it wasn't as hard for me to come up with some sort of fun anecdote because I knew them. And so that was really, really great. And so the second day, then I think there was a panel, and it was a panel of AI people. And that one had me a little like verklempt because I was a little nervous, because there was one gentleman, and he has, I think, an Indian name. And so I must have watched, I told him to his face, it's not a secret. I said, I watched probably 4 different videos until I came across one where you finally introduced yourself and said your name so I could say it correctly. And he was kind of laughing at that, but I was just like, I don't want to be the person who comes up here and then mispronounces your name for everybody. But I did tell him, like, you didn't make it easy. I was out there hunting down, good shake, buddy. I was hunting down videos of trying to figure out how to say your name. So that was a little like furious Googling beforehand, but it all worked out. So I'm sad I couldn't be there. I am sad too. And we sat at our airport for 7 hours. Oh no, and the trip was canceled. That's the worst. Oh my goodness. Did D come? You know what? I did not see him. I don't believe he came, but I did run into Nick. He was also speaking. So yeah, I saw Nick very briefly. And that's another thing. I think when you're an MC, I thought that I would have more time to kind of mix and mingle with a lot of other creators and people, friends, but I didn't really get to, because I was kind of married to the room for most of the day. So I didn't get to go off and be like, oh my gosh, I want to talk to you, because I was there in case, oh, it's Q&A time, or, oh, something else is happening. So I really didn't have that luxury and freedom to kind of like flit about as some people do. So I did not see D. Hey, Lori's Tech Time. How's it going? Great to see you. Love to see females in tech. Love to see it. In fact, one of the speakers, she's a cute little thing. Her name was Sarah Grace, and she was along with a gentleman, very sweet little, I call them kids. I don't know why. They're obviously adults, but I'm just like, I feel like old. So I feel like everyone is a kid. Does that make sense? So I was like, these kids were given the 8 a.m. slot on like the second day, on the last day, which is a tough time slot. And I was like, I'm so sorry that, you have to be up and chipper and so bright and early in the morning. And they were like, we're morning people. We love it. And I'm like, wow, what's that like? They were so cute and they were so lovely. And so Sarah Grace also does a lot of tech stuff too. And I love to see it. And then the gentleman that was there, his name was Zealous. And I'd never heard of him. But then I was doing my research on the people, and I saw he had like 4 million subscribers and she has over 2 million subscribers. So I was also like, there are people here at 8 a.m. They actually got people to show up, which is a very tough time slot. And I was just like, you guys, you're going to kill it. And they did a great job. And it was just kind of fun to see all these different people also that like I don't really know and get to include in my like sphere of people and influence now that I know. And now I get to say, like, oh, I know this person or this person. And it's just cool. It was really cool to get to kind of like network. Good shake, honey. Oh, by the way, hey, Casey, come here. Do you want to One second. Come here. Everybody say happy birthday to baby Casey. Baby Casey is 7 years old today. Today is her birthday. It's your birthday, baby. It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. I'm sorry. So Casey is 7 years old today, which is crazy to think because I still call her baby Casey. She's baby Casey forever. Just like Cooper is obviously a puppy. Are you a puppy? Do you want to show him? Okay, maybe in a minute when he's up to it. But I actually emceed for Zealous last year. That's so cool. He was so nice. He was very, very nice. But that's the thing, the lovely part about not only being at VidSummit, but being an MC. I don't know if I would have ever come across his videos, but he was lovely and I got to meet him and, intro him. So that was great. Hi, would you like to come say hello? He's still thinking about it. So I'd love to hear from y'all if you were there, what you guys thought of speakers, sessions, venue, hotels. Are you done? Nope, not done. Hi. Hold on. Oh, he ran away. Just kidding. I know. That's what I said. 8 a.m. People are still alive at that time. You would think because video people, for whatever, they like to go out, have some drinks the night before. Now, and these people, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, 8 a.m. in the morning. I don't know how they did it, but kudos to them. So I got to intro a few lovely people, including, so Viper and I got to split ballrooms, and one day he got Emily D. Baker on her own session, and then the following day, Emily D. Baker was in a panel with, ironically, my ex-boss from when I used to work at a company. And so what's really funny about that is every once in a while you still have that little bit of feeling like I still want to impress them or make them think that I do good work. We don't work together anymore, but you know what I mean? You still have that a little, I'd want that for anybody, but of course also people who used to be your ex-boss. So she was leading a panel, and so we had a beauty content creator who, it was her first time speaking. We had Emily, who's done speaking bunches of times, and we had my ex-boss there on that panel. So what was fun about that was I was still in full MC mode. Did we do our mic check? Do we know how long the session is? Do we have time for Q&A? Do we make sure they had waters? Waters was kind of a funny thing because waters was something that we should just have, and we didn't have it. And one of the people that I was speaking about was, he did a session by himself, and it was actually the most attended of all the sessions that I had. And then I felt really bad because we didn't have any water for him, so we ended up sharing a water with one of the video production people, and I don't think that guy really wanted to share. But my friend Jessie from Genius Link, at one point I was just like, Jessie, can you please just go buy a couple of waters, because I know I have a panel coming up and I need the people to be hydrated, and I don't know when the water's coming, so please help me out. And he did, because it was just faster for him to, and so Jesse was my hero for the day, but I paid him back because we went to a party, and it was a mixer birthday party celebration, early birthday for Roger Wakefield. If you know him, the mustache. And he had these cookies that had been imprinted with his logo with a mustache. And Jesse, for the life of him, could not open these cookies. And so I had to open his cookies so that, oh gosh, I have the cookies. I should take a photo of it because I took one home. He could not open these cookies. So twice during the mixer, he's like, he was so frustrated. I'm like, let me help you. So that was really, really funny. So I got to open his cookies twice. And I said, but you bought me water, so. Hey, the Artist Haven, it's great to see you, Discord coach. I would love to hear, how was VidSummit for y'all? How was VidSummit for y'all? In fact, Tish, I was talking about you just a minute ago because I said that I ran into you on my last morning having breakfast. You and Rob were just finishing up, and then Rob had asked me if it was easier being an MC or a speaker, and I said, oh gosh, I think it's harder being an MC. But yeah, what were your thoughts? Yeah, Gabby was on the panel. Yes, Gabriela Suarez. And that was her first time. She goes by Glam Girl Gabby on YouTube. That was her first time speaking. And so what's really interesting about her, I love this. She was in the audience last year at VidSummit, and she said, I had just hit 100,000, like pretty much the day of VidSummit, or like one of the days of VidSummit. And she's like, I hit 100,000. I came to VidSummit, which was interesting because there weren't a ton of other beauty content creators there. And so I didn't know if it was going to be different than like an IPSY event or something, a beauty conference. And she's like, I'm so glad that I came because it really made me reanalyze how I think about YouTube and my channel as a business. And she's like, I really like had a different frame of mind and reference going forward. And I just really shifted a lot of things. And so it's funny that last year I was in the audience. Now I'm standing on stage speaking on this panel, and I'm, almost at 280,000. So the stuff that she had been learning, implementing, growing had really helped her grow her channel and her business. And so that's just one of the cool stories that comes from VidSummit, including one of the people that I got to intro. Her name was Jenny Hoyos. And what's great about her, last year at VidSummit, during the end where they sometimes give away a lot of prizes and it usually gets a little crazy, but one of the things that happened was Daryl brought up some people on stage, and then he said, you people are going to win Channel Jumpstart, which is his coaching program. And he's like, and I bet you not only that, one of you will be speaking on a stage next year. And I remember I was sitting in the audience with Matthew Hughes, King of Video, and I was like, wow, that's a high, lofty promise. That's I don't know if that's setting someone up for like success, or like if it could possibly have someone like harbor animosity, because then the speakers are like, oh, this person got chosen because they were in Daryl's masterclass versus anything else. But you know what? I said this, I was like, I'm so happy to be proven wrong, because Jenny was one of the people that won Channel Jumpstart, and she had gotten to 1.2 million subscribers in the 1 year since VidSummit. And this year she was speaking, and I got to intro her. And that was me eating some humble pie, being like, this is the girl or a person that you just naysayed. You didn't know if people, like, not that they wouldn't accept it or anything, but like if someone was going to really like in 1 year be like, oh my gosh, look at me, here I am now on the stage. And I was like, I was so wrong, and I'm so happy that I was wrong. And I'm so excited that I get to introduce this person, because that's actually very, very fitting. I loved it. I actually love that a lot. So, and I told Matt, I was like, I was too skeptical, man. And it really like made me readjust my own bias when I saw that. And I was just like, yeah, totally. She rocked it. I was wrong. All right. What do we got here? Some of those cookies are sealed tighter than potato chips. True story. Gabby has come. Yeah, she is amazing. She was super nice as well. You were there to talk to people because I knew I could watch. Exactly. And I think a lot of people have talked about that, how the replays are always there. But the beauty of a lot of VidSummit is those hallway conversations, the conversations that you have at these networking events. It's true. Even though so many of the sessions are jam-packed full of really great information, so sometimes it's about those first conversations that you had. So I remember it was 2018, Steve Dotto, Justin Brown, we went to this, the lunch that was kind of like sponsored by Gary. It was a meet and greet kind of with Gary Vee. It was the year that he was doing one of the keynotes. And so we went and I sat next to them, and I remember them just grilling me like, where are you with your email list? Where are you with this? Why haven't you started doing this? Why don't you have a course? Let's come up with an outline. And I'm like, I was unprepared. I was not ready. But I remember that moment sticking out, that they really just sat there during that lunch and they were like, we're going to get you there. We're going to do all these things. You're going to learn this stuff. And that is like invaluable. you know, that kind of connection, that kind of interaction. Amazing. Where are you going to get that? So, I didn't feel like I didn't get to talk to people I knew because I was busy meeting. Yes, exactly. I 100% took advantage of that hallway conversation and networking. That was actually my goal because the year before I didn't take advantage of that. Yeah, and I think it's interesting because like maybe your first year, you're like, I have to go to all these sessions, I have to run around and do that. And then the second year, it's like, oh, the sessions are great. However, I got to talk to some of these people, you know? Desiree Martinez's women video meetup. Oh, I heard it was really good. I think Gwen Miller, my friend, also said that she went to that and she had a really great time. And in fact, some people said that they wish that they had maybe done that versus some of the other activities that I heard were going on. So yeah, I think whoever attended that, tell me about it. Tell me how that went. Were not only pleasantly surprised, but walked away like really invigorated and happy and just excited that they had done that. So please let me know about that. Let's see. Oh, what's it like to get put on the spot like that? What do you mean? Oh, like with Justin and Steve. Oh, it was humiliating and I wanted to die and shrink in my chair. You know how you do. And you know what though, for that conversation, it was the next year at VidSummit. I had not yet launched a course. I had not gotten very far with my email list. And it was the next year after that, I said, I am not going back to VidSummit and having to face Justin Brown and get in Steve Dotto's face for the second year in a row and tell them I have not launched a course or some sort of digital product, because it was in that second year where they said, did you launch it? Did you do something? And I was embarrassed. I said, no, I didn't do it. And then, like I said, the next year after, I was like, I am not showing up at VidSummit without launching something. And if you remember, it was that October when I finally launched iMovie Made Easy. And Steve, as he is in his wisdom, was very right. And I overdid and made probably too many modules and made it more complicated than it needed to be, because you really only need to like get a transformation from A to B, and I was trying to get them to the Z. And he's like, but every first time course creator does that. They put too much in, they confuse people, they probably don't charge enough, and it's a learning experience, but you got to get through it. And I was like, yep, all of that is true. Justin is nice. He would definitely judge me. So he would definitely judge me. Hey, what's up, Trenton's Tech? I got to meet Trenton's Tech, and we got to kind of eat together. I felt bad then because you would come to sit with us while you were like starting to eat. And so I was talking to you for a little bit and then your food came. And then I'm like, oh, dude, I never want to have a conversation with someone while I'm sitting there, like, you know, shoveling food in my face and I'm hungry, because it's for a girl at least. Okay. Just stay with, it's hard to look like ladylike and dainty while you're like shoving food in. I say this while I was eating chips and salsa and guac and stuff. I wasn't as concerned with being ladylike as I'm just like manhandling all this food with my fingers. But I know that feeling. So I was like, I'm gonna let you eat for a second and I'm gonna catch back up with you. I hope you know that that's what I was just letting you eat in peace, because I want people to let me eat in peace. That's what I was doing. I wasn't blowing you off. You like the vertical angle? So I was saying at the beginning of the stream, this is the last live stream that you'll see in this house, because I'm moving this weekend and moving to our new spot. And I hadn't yet broken down the desk. And so that was the last thing I still had up with the lights. But it turns out that the carpet pullers and handymen are here like patching up some stuff, and they're kind of loud. So I'm in a different room just on a phone. So it is what it is. Meeting new people is always fun. Absolutely. Yes, you like Gwen. Gwen is the best. I know. I would love to do more videos with Gwen. And I said, I guess you've come by your ambush tactics, honestly. I don't ambush people. You stop it. You don't. Okay. Hi, Tish. Hi, Chantel. Hi, Shane Show. Hi, the artist. I like that you guys are all saying hi to each other. It's a very friendly chat. I told Tish, I told Viper, I guess I could tell y'all since there's only 6 of us here. It says there's 6. I'm in a weird phase of my life right now, honestly, where I'm trying to figure out like what is next for me. And so I have content minis and that's going. I've kind of like let the brothers kind of do their editing thing, and I just get involved if there's some sort of like issue, which thank goodness, knock on wood, there haven't been too many of recently. So now I'm kind of like, what am I going to do with my time? And like, should I possibly go back and get a job someplace? And it's been rolling around in my brain. Like, I'm not even quite sure what I'm going to do. I came across a tweet from YT Jobs about a position that's open. And I was like, if I was going to do something, it might be in like the creator space. I told Renee Ritchie once, I'm like, I guess if there's ever a PM or a TPM role over at Google/YouTube, maybe just like let me know. Maybe I'll throw my hat in the ring, because I want to work on something that is kind of in that sphere, creator adjacent, not necessarily having to be an on-screen presence for like some sort of brand representative. You know what I mean? So I was just like, what is there that I could maybe think about in that realm? And I came across something and I was like, it might be a good fit. So I put in an application. Do not tell my husband. He's been wanting me to go back to get a real job for a very long time. And if I tell him, shh, you don't tell Papa. I said, shh, If I tell him that I applied for any job, doesn't matter what the job is, he'll be very excited. And he'll be like, well, if you like this job, let's look at this job. What about this job? And so we're going to keep it a secret for now that I even put in an application. But I don't know how it's going to go, honestly. But I just thought I would share that with the 6 of you that are here. Honey, you don't have to kick yourself in the face. Honey, stop. Stop it. Stop. She's just kicking herself in the face repeatedly, like when they do. Okay, I totally understand working out what's next spring. Yeah, right? Because there's... Honey. Okay, go back to licking your foot. My husband wants me to get a mundane job, but I would love to stay. Exactly. So we've had this talk before too, right? And it's like, I'd like to stay somewhat adjacent, but I don't feel that need to, like, I never felt the need to go on and be some sort of brand ambassador for some company and, you know, do their, like, would I do it? Sure. Was it on like the highest of my list of like things that I wanted to do in a job? No. So yeah, I don't know. I've been stuck in that cycle for the last 6 months or so, and I'm finally making progress instead of being stuck, right? Slowly, but progress. Yeah. And I like that you're kind of doing more of the stuff that you want to do, right? You sold your place, or, you know, you moved out, and, you know, you have some new relationship status going on. You got a new living situation going on, and you're really kind of focusing on what you want to do. And I like that. So I'm truly blessed. Enough said. Absolutely. I thought YouTube is a real job. Okay, so let's... 2 separate things. YouTube is a real job for a lot of people. Absolutely. She's just still kicking herself in the face. I don't make very much on YouTube, period. And I think if anyone has watched what YouTube has paid me, or how much, it was the monthly revenue report videos, like YouTube, maybe I make $100 a month. Some months I don't even get paid because I have to have it roll over to hit 100. And I was telling my friend this yesterday because I've been in moving mode and getting rid of stuff mode. Like I was getting rid of a TV, and she was taking it to her mom's house, but they came over yesterday to get it. And I was saying how, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought just between the scratching, thinking about that, because then in my head what also popped up was my husband had this trombone also, and they also took the trombone because I was randomly going like, do you need a trombone? Do you need an air conditioner? You need a TV? And they were like, trombone, yes. And then I started thinking about the trombone and then how we couldn't get the case open. And then, but there was something I was going with, and I was starting that story. You are literally watching my squirrel brain in action, the deterioration of my brain capacity. Here it is. Chantal was saying, I would love to help out behind the scenes and not necessarily be in the face. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We were talking about not making a lot of money on YouTube. Oh, oh, this train is coming back. Which then immediately made me think of this train don't stop here anymore, Elton John, because that's just how my brain works. Good shake. So I was saying that when I worked at Amazon or a big tech company, I was actually much more dedicated with my time and being able to compartmentalize and time block. And I actually put out way more content when I was working full time and doing YouTube on the side than when I was just doing YouTube. And so I was saying last night, I was like, if I'm going to truly not be putting out this much content, then I don't even know why I'm a full-time YouTuber like this, because I don't make any money, and I made more money when I was employed / part-time creator. And then I was saying like, so maybe it's time for me to, and it would help me kickstart actually putting out other videos. By the way, did you guys see I put out a video yesterday? I mean, or something, maybe 2 days ago. It was a 2-minute tutorial. Oh, was it on Tuesday? Wait, was it 2-minute Tuesday tutorials like Peter McKinnon? Was I channeling my inner Peter McKinnon? I don't even know. If someone let me know. Did I put it out on Tuesday? Was it a 2-minute Tuesday? Oh, dang, it might have been. Unintentional. That would have been cool. But I was like, if I'm just gonna dick around and not even do that, at least let me have some stability in a real like daytime money job type scenario, and then do YouTube on the side and maybe then I'll put out more videos, because I truly know that the reason I have not grown very much on YouTube in this last year and a half or something is basically because I don't put out videos. I put out live streams, and I love all 7 of you that are here. But the truth is, we know that live streams are to usually foster and build up the community you have, and not to gain and attract new viewers. So I don't gain and attract new viewers because I don't put out content. That's just what it is. It was Tuesday. It was 2 minutes. It was a 2-minute Tuesday. Oh, dang. Casey, where are you with the head scratches? It sounds like a like little, okay, no, just stare at me like that then. Never mind. 2-minute Tuesday happened on not purpose, but it happened. So you need to retitle that one. It's my Chrome brain. How many tabs? Yes, exactly. Exactly. But we did, even though in the midst of all of that swirliness, I came back to the point I was trying to say is, yes, it's a real-time job. No, I don't make any money. 2, I should probably go back to having a job full-time, but I don't want it to be in just a tech job because I can. I want it to be something in the creator adjacent world. And so I had told, like my husband or something before, that I was like, hey, if I ever do it again, I don't just want to go back to being a technical program manager or program manager or product manager for a product that is not somehow related to enhancing the life of a creator. Does that make sense? So before, I worked in like tax software, and it was tax calculation and making sure that tax is accurate across all different interfaces and countries and genres and scenarios, right? So I can tell you all kinds of stories about like how if you have gingerbread men with M&M buttons versus gumdrop buttons, they have different tax rates. Or the fact that juice, if it's beyond a certain percentage of sugar, is classified as like a soda, which has a different tax rate. Whereas like, it's a whole thing, okay? It's a whole thing. Weird rules, a lot of if then that type scenarios with tax. And then don't even get me started on Brazil, and like it's a whole other thing. But I was like, me being able to do that and do it just a tiny bit more efficiently doesn't help creators. And so I was like saying to my husband and other people, that's why if I ever go back to one of those types of jobs, I want it to be like, maybe it was a PM at YouTube, or a product manager, or a program manager, or technical program manager. Shh, mommy's working. If it was YouTube adjacent, yes. If it was at a creator, based company with some sort of tool that was focused on creators, yes. If it was, if it's something else that's just helping some big conglomeration make a little bit faster, a little bit more, it's not really exciting to me. So I would like to stay in the sphere of creator. So that could be, being strategy at some company, or, helping write script, or helping do something at some sort of company that is creator focused. Then I would consider going back. I don't need to just go back to a company to take the title so I can get a paycheck. Does that make sense? Can I get a thumbs up in the chat if that makes sense? So I really want my next venture to be something that is going to be creator focused in some way. Okay. So same. It was a 2-minute Tuesday. Man, that was so unintentionally awesome. I haven't done an edited video in 18 months. See, it's all live streams. Yeah, same. False, not same. I did a 2-minute Tuesday. Not the gumdrop buttons. Not the gumdrop buttons. You monster. You monster. Ask Markham. Sounds like Ask Shelly with all the business tax jargon you just mentioned. Yeah, tax is a funny business, man. So we've talked about this before on the live stream, but if you have marshmallow fluff versus marshmallows, even the mini marshmallows versus the jumbo marshmallows, those could be taxed at separate rates because one is an ingredient that would be used in other things and one is a finished product. Does that make sense? So intentionality of end user is actually one of those where things, and I never thought we would divulge into this, but they have weird rules. So like if you get something and you have it imported from another country, but you're actually not the end destination for it, so it's going to the United States, but it came from China, but it makes a stopover in Ireland, there are different taxes that you have to pay along the way, along the stops. And it's usually, it's a whole process. But it also, if you have something like, oh, we have a back to school sale in certain states, not all states, but certain states in certain days of the year leading up to back to school, they'll have no tax on what could be considered school supplies, which is already a very loose term because for a lot of people, it's just office supplies. And what do you technically classify as a school supply? But then it gets worse because then you're like, okay, is it based off fulfillment or is it based off of the day that it ships or is it based off of the day that they order? Because if they order on Friday and Saturday are the only 2 days that they're non-tax exempt, but they don't get the product until the following Monday, is it based on the day of delivery or is it based on the day of order? Because you would think it might be based off the day of order because you have to do the calculation then, but it can be different based on when it actually ships. Also, if you have a bagel in New York, if you have them slice it, there's labor involved and it could be technically at a different tax rate than if they just handed you a bagel that had never been sliced into a bag and sent you out the door. It's a thing. It's a thing. So I have seen different shops too. So if you take it in a baggie, different tax rate than if you were to sit in the restaurant and eat said thing. Because one is like a to-go thing and one is like including labor because someone has to bring it to your table. It's, tax is weird, man. Tax is weird. I just make my own marshmallows. Oh, homemade marshmallows are the best. They're the best. In fact, a friend of mine has a company called Mad Marshmallows and she is a makeup news channel. Her name is Jen. And her channel is Jen Loves, and she has a company called Mad Marshmallows that she can only ship inside of her home state because of tax laws, and she sells at her local farmer's market. So there's another thing too about if you're trying to cross state lines about what tax rate should also be charged. Where is it from the city where she lives and resides and has her business out of, or is it sometimes based on the destination, which would be different tax rates. Well, not only each county, but each state. So also you ever see why some people then will order something and then have it try to go to Oregon so that they can have a non-tax type of transaction because the end destination is in a location that doesn't have oh, I've lost people. We only have like 5 people watching now. Oh, sorry, it got started on tax. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done it. In fact, though, I'll just say as a last moment poke at this, is that tax is so complicated in Brazil that they had to outsource at the time a whole separate company that only specializes in Brazilian tax. So just think about that for a minute. Tax law is so complicated in Brazil that they had to hire an outside third-party company that only does tax there. Oh no, what it says message is held for review. What happened? Dead. Adam is dead. Okay, I'm gonna say show it. It's just some. Oh, it said another moderator has handled it. I was assuming positive intent that he was just dead because. Oh no, there's another one. You know what? I'm gonna show that one. Another moderator has handled it. I like s'mores. Oh no, what is Adam Virabadran? Aloe. Are you saying aloe like the app that Google used to make, or like hello? Aloe. Yeah, I like s'mores too. I do like s'mores too. By the way, what do we think of streaming vertically? You guys have any thoughts on this? Don't go back to that job. Hi, Adam. Because this is one of the first times I've done the vertical live streaming. I don't know. I am in a beta program for vertical live streaming where apparently if I go live for over an hour once a month for a few months, I can fill out some survey and they might give me a gift card, but I also have to like agree to sit down, I think, for some sort of feedback session, I believe it is. So we'll see. And I think I heard about it because of the shorts community, which I believe might be in the process of doing some sort of new, not like Shortstober or like Shortsmith type thing, but I think they're doing a new sprint, Shorts Excellence, and I am falling behind. I haven't done that. So I am not a fan, but I do watch streams in modding on computers. So there's that. What? You're not a fan. I am not a fan, but I do. What does that mean? You love this channel? Thanks. I appreciate that. No, I said hello, but that's close enough. Oh, you're not a fan of vertical live streams. Gotcha. No, that makes sense. I'm wondering, how's the experience as you're like doing it and you're looking at comments and such? Because I haven't really gotten to see. You're watching on a computer rather than, okay. Yeah, that probably is a much different experience too, because, you know, what's interesting is when we have 70% of traffic on YouTube coming from phones, a lot of the people might be watching on phones, but for the people who watch on like TVs and computers, yeah, it's probably not the best experience. So, okay to watch on PC, but not good on phone if you want to see the chat. Oh, you don't get to see the chat. It doesn't roll up like on TikTok or anything. I'm not a fan of vertical unless you're using streaming software to add screen shares and comments. That's a good point. That's a good point. You know what though? I hadn't had success. I had tried once before to stream vertically with Ecamm to YouTube and it wasn't successful, but it was successful for Instagram. So if you've done that, let me know. You prefer to mod on a computer? Yeah, that makes sense. And it makes me crazy with managing mod tools on mobile. I'm a little timestamp on the phone. Interesting. I'm glad that you guys are giving me this feedback though, because technically the only channel that I want to vertical live stream on in the future is going to be the vertical video tutorials channel. So that one, because I want all videos on that channel to only ever be vertical. So all the tutorials, vertical, like any live streams, vertical, shorts, of course, but I want that channel to be specifically vertical only. So also if you guys don't like it, then I'll make sure to only ever live stream on the vertical channel. But Adam, thanks for the foxes. And what does the fox say? You need to make her full screen bottom right corner. And it says, I'm here for the conversation, so it doesn't really matter. If you're doing art or another kind of overhead shot, that would be different. True. Depends, I guess, on what you're watching the person do. So not a timestamp like you put on an envelope. Good. I feel old now. Oh no. All of these held for review messages. Thank you. Okay. That one, maybe maybe we don't need that one. I'm sorry if you guys also hear like the knocking and stuff. They, like I said, they're doing drywall repair, they're doing carpet pulling, they're doing different things around the house. And I also thought that they would be gone by 5. They were not. And so that's why I don't have access to the computer room, and that's why I don't have all of my regular gear. So no, you're all good, Adam. Thank you for being enthusiastic. And then you missed the chat. It's good you're in a construction zone. We get yeah. Missed spelling. You're all good. Don't worry about it. So any other thoughts that y'all have? VidSummit is still my favorite conference for YouTube. I have not been to VidCon since 2018. I don't know if I would go unless I was invited as some sort of participant, speaker, panelist, something. I don't know if that is right for me. I feel like I've kind of like found a space that I like, going and attending and being with the VidSummit crowd. So I like that. And I like that it's still smaller than like VidCon. So I definitely, even if I'm not participating as like an MC or anything like next year, I would still be going and attending VidSummit, which they did announce the dates. It's September 3rd through 5th. It is going to be at that same convention center in Dallas, which is great. So people maybe plan for that. That's where it's going to be again next year. Wow, I just realized how bad this lighting is. This entire time it's really dark. It's really dark. Huh. Let's see here. I like on landscape, you can bring the chat on site. Yep. I'd love to go. Aussie dollar was a mess. Oh yeah, it would be a really expensive trip. That makes sense. And Dallas is not too far. Bye, Adam. I'm a little bummed that it's so close to Dragon Con. DC is Atlanta, so that complicates things. I don't know what Dragon Con is. Is it comic book related? Like DC Universe? Or is it something else? Dragon Con. It's like a Renaissance fair? I don't know. I'm just going to stop talking because I bet all of my guesses are so not correct. So I apologize. I mean no disrespect. I have just no idea what Dragon Con is. But let's see, other updates. So we're moving, and I just started going back to dance class again. So by the way, if you want to see it, if you're not following my Shelly Saves the Day Facebook page, which it's been like 7 years of having that Facebook page, and I think I finally hit 700 followers. So if you want to be one of them, would appreciate that. But I did post and share on that page that I finally got to get my boots back on the hardwood on dancing, my cowboy boots, and I got to do a dance. We're going through what's called Audition Boot Camp right now, which is it's a 6-week series, or 6 week, I think it's 6-week series. We learn the dances that we would learn for audition season during the boot camp. And it's really, for especially new people coming in, it's kind of like drinking from the fire hose of choreography, because they teach a lot faster than they normally would during any regular session. And it's to give you a taste of what all the different levels and whatnot look like. But I posted and shared the dance that we did. It was the first time I had learned it, but we only got about 80 minutes with it, and then you have to film it. So I did share that, and I'm like, it feels good to be dancing it, even if it's not like full out, even if it's not like obviously show ready. It just felt nice to be dancing again. Rebecca, oh my gosh, hey, how are you? I saw you in the crowd, and then I thought for a moment when I was trying to be like, hey, Rebecca, how's it going? I think you had this, like, I think I saw like the mental shift where you're like, how do I know this person? Do I know this person? And then you were like, ding, hey, Shelly. And I was being like, I was like, look at you. Like you'd won like a bag, like one of the backpacks, and you were like holding it up. There's a great photo of you in the photo reel. I saw it, but you're like holding up this bag, like, oh my God, it's a great bag. In fact, it was a bag given to us as a speaker gift. which is very, very generous. And what's funny is I had actually brought that bag with me. So when I went back home, I had two of the same backpack. So I was wearing one and then I was like carrying one. But I was very happy to have another of that backpack. And in fact, I let my husband borrow the backpack for a work trip. And I was like, please take care of it. It's a really nice bag. He's like, I take care of everything. And he does. But I was just like, please be nice to it. I really like this backpack. So I know, I think that was the first and only time that I even saw you was in the crowd. Yeah. I will say that last 15 minutes or so was a little hectic and chaotic because Daryl and all of the sponsors, they were giving out so much stuff. It was like thousands upon thousands. They were giving out iPads, they were giving out watches, they were giving out all sorts of aperture lights, they were giving out like nomadic backpacks. It must have been, there were at least 10 of those backpacks, which is $300 a piece. So I mean, right there is $3,000. They gave out these light sets, which is I think the Amaran as well as the dome light, which is probably a good $500-$600. And they probably gave out like 6 of those. So 6 and 6 is $3,600. So I mean, that's like, $6,600 worth of stuff there, and then probably, $4,000 or $5,000 worth of Apple products. So thank you, Chantel. Thank you for that. I'm so glad that you got to flex that mod wrench. I appreciate it. I just saw it, but I saw it got deleted real fast. But thank you for being on top of that. No, it got crazy. And what's really funny is we had this little powwow right before and being like, okay, let's make sure that it doesn't get crazy. People don't rush the stage. We like point at people and say, you're the one that I want. Very Grease-like, right? Ooh, 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 honey. And then it still just into pure chaos. So wield the wrench, wield the wrench. And I know, right? Totally. She got that so fast that I had to chuckle at the comment and then it was just gone and I saw Chantel's name next to it. So wield that wrench. Absolutely. The wretched wrench. So it was nuts. And at one point they were like, hey, can you carry out these things out into the crowd? And I was like, well, technically, I was like, how heavy is it? Because I'm not supposed to lift like more than 15-ish pounds at a time, which I did though still, obviously, because you got luggage and you've got things, but like I'm not really supposed to. And so they're like, never mind, we'll just have you pass out like the Ridge wallet. So I had to walk through the crowd and just find a couple of people and be like, here's a wallet. And then what's so funny is when I was at breakfast, the person at the table next to me, they're like, we're mad at you. And I'm like, well, what did I do? I'm just having breakfast. They're like, you didn't give me one of those like wallets or something. And I was like, what? I had no, anyways, so they said they were mad at me. And then they also said that they wanted to buy the sweatshirt that I was wearing because I decided to wear the VidSummit sweatshirt. What's funny is they gave out like an entire case of them too. And I was wearing it. It was comfortable and warm, but it also shed quite a bit. It was kind of crazy. No, they were like play mad, but they were still kind of like, I'm going to tell you about it. Whack a troll. I love it. That's so good. I love that. If they could just spell. No, it was funny. It was funny. So what else? Oh, yeah, back to the subject at hand. I do think that I will usually always clear my calendar for VidSummit. Like I said, I don't think I would be too involved with anything VidCon related unless I was asked to be a participant in some way. And I don't see that happening because I don't necessarily have a successful YouTube channel, if that makes sense. So unless I gain a lot of notoriety and grow my channel quite substantially, I am not someone that they would probably be interested in having on some sort of set panel. So, but I will always, my heart will always pitter-patter the most for VidSummit, even if I'm not a participant like I was this year. Because I'd already bought my ticket, actually. You know what's actually funny about that? I bought my ticket, and then when they asked me to be MC, you get a free ticket. And so I gave my ticket away to someone. I didn't even sell it, I just gave it to someone because I wanted to make sure they came. Turned out then that they, last minute, were asked to run a moderated panel. It was my ex-boss. And then, so she would have gotten a free ticket anyway, too. So I actually gave away my ticket for someone who got a free ticket. Oops. Anyways, I did VidCon the 3 times it came to Australia. You know what? Something like that, though, I could see if it's there. Absolutely. So there was VidCon Baltimore, and I was mad at my friend for not going to VidCon Baltimore because she lives in Baltimore. So it's different than like making big plans to go out of your way, I think, to a different one. So, yeah. Rebecca, are you going to go next year? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. We want to see everybody at VidSummit next year. VidSummit's always just like a nice reunion. And it's also one of the times where you realize, oh my gosh, I finally get to meet someone. I was talking to someone, I don't even remember who it was, and I think they said that I was taller than they thought. And I was like, I know, because all you ever see is like, maybe from here up. And then when you start realizing like you have legs and you walk around on them and stuff like that, it's different. And then you're like, oh my gosh, there's the whole rest of the body there. So we don't want you to grow too big for us mortals. No, stop it. You stop it. I'm going to have an open invite for pre and post VidSummit. Yeah, I'll be there next year in my motorhome, and I can go, oh, that sounds awesome. You know what, too? I think that a lot of people tried to like rush out on Thursday, and I was definitely in that camp of like, oh no, well, one, as an MC, you're there until the end of the bell anyway. So I was like, I was already planning to stay an extra night that night, because even if it wraps up at 6 p.m., I'm like, I don't want to get onto a flight if I have to be at the airport 2 hours early at like 10 o'clock at night. So I was just like, I will stay the night, have breakfast the next day, and then check out. So, yeah, people don't realize how short I am. What's really funny about that? So my friend, my ex-boss, and Gwen, and a few other people, it's always not until I see them that I remember how much, it's not that I'm so much taller, maybe that they're shorter, the combination, just the height difference. So whenever you see photos of us, it's like them two and then me, like, yeah. My problem is that I have my cis and muscle ranger. Yeah, for sure. That was the first thing I thought of when thinking that, to go to any kind of conference or something like that, like you have to definitely bring in a lot of outside help to be able to step away from your current circumstances. So, you didn't want to bother me? Wait, did you see me and you just didn't come up to me? Girl, you could have bothered me. What are you talking about? We frame ourselves to be at eye height so people think we're the same height as them. But you just never know, like, how big or short someone is, right? Like, for instance, my friend Travis, Travis McP, on Twitter, or if you know him from YouTube, he's taller than people think he is. Or like the Niman brothers, right? Because they're like probably 6'4" or something like that. So people are always like, oh my God, I didn't know you were so big. And I'm like, it's because I've known them for years. I'm like, really? Like, I knew they were that big, but yeah, not until you see them. So I was the Friday before and left on Saturday. It's nice not to, yeah, exactly. And sometimes there's some collaborations that happen the next day. I know Roberto had put out like, hey, if you're trying to do a podcast, and I tried to message him like, yeah, I'm still around if you want to do that podcast that we were talking about. But he was, I think he was at LensCrafters, and then I was like, I'm just having breakfast. Come hang out with me. I am 5'1", but in Sweden, I am 157 centimeters. That's right. No nurse all week, so there's no way I could get away. Yeah. The Nimmans are tall, and it's awesome. It's so funny. I have a picture from last year at the Nimmans where, oh my gosh, right? Did you guys I still love that photo so much. It's the Nimman brothers in like the Nimman 1, Nimman 2 shirts that I made for them. And I was so tickled pink when they both liked them and actually wore them. But I was wearing a red shirt as well, and I felt like we planned it. It was like the two Nimman brothers in red, and I was wearing red. And even though I'm pretty tall because I'm 5'7", they still, definitely have a head over me. And so people would be like, they're so tall. And I'm like, I'm pretty tall too. But anyways, but that picture always makes me smile. And I think I told y'all this one. I was mad that I didn't get to see Nick more because I was like, oh my gosh, we didn't do our second TikTok dance. It's supposed to be a thing. Every time I see you, we do a TikTok dance. And he's like, next time. But I know you were there. I remember because you were also talking about how like, oh, I have my Samsung phone. And it got into a whole thing about Samsung phones and whatnot, right? And yeah, I don't want to be rushed. And I don't even think staying an extra night when you're done at 6 p.m. or something, just staying, having dinner, going out the next morning, I don't even think that is rushed. So I would much prefer to have that extra night. Absolutely. Did you even take that picture, actually, Tish, now that I'm thinking about it? Is it possible you are the one who took that photo for us? Was that you? Was that you? And Rebecca, I think I skipped it, but you're always more than welcome to come say hi. I just look like I hate everybody, but that's just my face. Can't do anything about that. I don't like people that much, but like I'm still gonna say hi to you. You know what I mean? I don't mean it. That sounded mean. I didn't mean it like that. I was just thinking out loud. Anyways, anything else that you guys want to chat about? Wow, it's 6:30. Wow. That hour flew. Let's see. Seen him much except with his brother when he finally got home. Yeah. Next year I will make sure to go talk to you no matter what. Absolutely. Come on over. He's like, I don't like people, but I'm peopling. Come say hi. So here's the weird thing about that. So I was with my friend, and she's very extroverted, and I'm very introverted. But I can turn it on for short bursts of energy, and be an extroverted introvert. But then I have to go back to my room and decompress for quite a while. Like I'm not sharing a room with someone. I've peopled enough today, going back to my room, and I'm done with peoples. And then usually when I come home from any conference, I am like, not catatonic, but just like quiet for like the entire ride home. For like, my husband knows, he's just like, I'm not peopling. I've peopled out. I've met my quota and then some for a while, and then it takes me a while to recharge my juices to be able to do it. But whilst I'm there, I can be friendly. I can, turn it on, and it's not necessarily like a show, but it's the best version of myself that I can present for a short amount of time, if that makes sense. And I wish I could be like that maybe more often, but like I said, I can turn it on for bursts, and I'm genuine about it, and I mean everything, but then I am just depleted of all energy, and I just need a lot of time to like recharge my social battery. So that's you when you're live streaming. So I am a social introvert, which means I can turn it on. See, but I need my collapse time. Yeah, it's recovery, right? And my husband has learned it took him 20 years to not take it personally. Yeah. And what's funny is my husband also really likes people, enjoys people, gets energy from people. And we are just opposite in that way, because I can do it. I can be proficient at it. In fact, people might say I'm very, very good at it. But then once I'm done, I'm just like, battery exhausted, and it just takes me, and then it's a trickle charge. It's not like one of those like super fast charging, you'll be good in an hour. It's like, no, you're on the 5-watt system, and it's going to take a while to get back. So, and I think it's interesting because coming from YouTube, I think a lot of people who are on YouTube happen to be introverts and can thrive on YouTube because it's literally you talking to yourself, pretending that you're talking to another human. But then when you see us sometimes in social situations, a lot of times people will say that their interactions are awkward or weird, and it's because usually we don't have other humans talking back to us. And it's like we forget sometimes how to interact with other humans. At least that's kind of my explanation of it. Us humans, if you think about it, like I'm just at home talking to my own reflection in the phone screen and pretending that you guys are here with me so I can chat back to you. But the interaction can also be as interactive or not as I want. So I can read that guy's comments and I can delete it, or I can just not respond to someone's comments, or I can, see someone's comment and respond directly to it. But it's kind of like you have the choice and you have freedom, because like no one is actually here like poking at you being like, no, answer this. What do you think about this? As opposed to like just reading it on a screen. But then when you see people in person, then it gets like more awkward, because then you're like, how long do I have to do this before like they're not mad at me for thinking this interaction is awkward? Or like, Do they hate me right now? Are they thinking something about me right now? All of that fun stuff that goes on in your head. So I have people mode and not people mode. Yeah, exactly, right? I'm in people mode until someone pisses me off. I like it. My peopling has gotten worse in isolation since, oh my gosh, it's so true. In fact, there was a study done where a lot of people are a lot more lonely now, just because they've been in their homes, they've been on computer screens and Zoom calls, they haven't been interacting with people, and I think people have forgotten how to interact in real life with other people again. So PSOs, people think I'm an introvert and I'm just typical Swedish. And I'm quiet. I love that. Chantel says, sometimes I need tea and no talking, and sometimes ice packs on my knees for 30 minutes, and then I'm good for a couple hours. See, you're social trickle. And back high. And no people in my very personal space. Yeah, I've always had a thing about personal space too. I don't like people too close to me unless I know them very well. So I'm quiet till you ask me the wrong question, or right, depending on your perspective. And then once I get going, it's hard to shut me up. Fair. Fair. There's these buttons down below, and I'm kind of curious what. So there's one for obviously flipping the camera view around so you can see the wall behind me. There's one for comment. Maybe that's for me to leave a comment. Let me see. Oh wait, it says top chat, live chat, super chat, none. Oh, so that's if I want to see messages. What's this one? I'm afraid to push now all of the buttons because something could magically go wrong. Let me see. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's a filter. It's a filter. Okay. What's this? Start a poll. Oh, I could do a poll. Okay, let me start a poll. Start a poll. Do you like, oopsies, I hate the Samsung keyboard, like polls. By the way, the Pixel 8 Pro just came out. God, I want it. Okay, let me see if do you like polls? Oh, look at that. Okay, what else is in here? That's a poll. This is pin to live stream. Tag products. Oh, I don't have any products though. Oh, if there was the phone for sale, I could pin that. And then save, highlight, share, and mute microphone. Okay, interesting. Interesting the choices that they have. How do I get rid of I don't need the filter anymore. Okay. Oh, there's votes in the poll. Okay. Yes, welcome back, Adam. I was doing a quick 30-minute live, then got asked a question in the chat, and I went off on side hedge for an hour and a half. It happens. Let's see. Yes. All 5 of you, 6 votes for yes, you like polls. All right. Ooh, shoot. Okay, wait, how do I hide the poll? Oh, it only has end poll. Let me go back to comments. No, I don't know how to make it go away. I was live yesterday, my cat walked onto my desk and turned off the power. And then you said that, yeah, and then you resume live, right? Yeah. That's cool. How do I get the poll off the screen? Because now the chat is like running up across my face. I don't know. I can't minimize can I minimize the poll? Wait, it just says start poll. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna end the poll maybe. Okay. Do you like polls? Yeah, 7 votes, all yeses. Poll complete. How do I get rid of the screen? I don't know. Anyways, oh gosh, the 8 Pro. Y'all know I had the 7 and I want the 8. I wanted the 7 Pro because I really wanted that zoom. But now that the 8 is here, I want the 8 Pro because not only do I want the zoom, I want all the cool like magic editing stuff, the AI voice isolation stuff. I want it. I want to try it. And so I've been looking at like, what would it be if I traded in the 7? It's not that good. What would it be if I traded in like an iPhone? But no, it's not that good either. And it's just like, but I want it. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I have StreamYard. I don't have a Mac, so no, you can't. Yeah. You know what's funny is I do love like the people at StreamYard, and I said that, and then Julie left, and so I know Dana is still there. I don't know who else is still there, but I see StreamYard sponsoring different things. They sponsored, I think, a panel. They sponsored some different live streamers. I've never been able to get it to work well for me, but I would like to be able to say that I remember I even paid for it for a while. The first year or 2, I paid for it, but it just doesn't, I couldn't get it to look right for me. So, I love both teams. Yeah. I do love my Ecamm fam, Definitely love my Ecamm fam. I think Ecamm is overkill for what I need, honestly. And StreamYard is just simple. And StreamYard has some cool stuff that I'd like to be able to integrate and use. But yeah. I'm not big on all the latest tech though. Yeah. No worries. You still love your 6? The Pixel 6? They make good phones, man. I think that they finally started getting better when it came to the video stuff. I've been waiting for them. I feel like they have a lot of editing magic AI stuff, but it's all done like after. You know what I mean? So it's not like, let me get the best in-camera thing that I can. It's like, don't worry, even if it's not great, we'll help you make it better afterwards. So I feel like that's how a lot of the stuff with Google is. I know that they're trying though. They're getting better. Yeah, so I'll say that. Since I have 5, I can buy it for $5.99. Ooh, the Pro. Oh, that is tempting. And you know, like the Pro on like Best Buy and on the store.google and everything, if you get the Pro, I know you can get like either the $199 Pixel Buds Pro for free or like the watch for free, which is like $350. And it's like, it's almost tempting, but like it would still cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And do I need 3 phones? No, because I've got like my iPhone here. I actually have my old iPhone that I'm, you know, like still paying off. And once I pay it off, then I can trade it in and put it towards something. But I have my Samsung Galaxy, which is what I'm choosing to stream off of today. And the only reason why I'm streaming off this one right now is 1, it has the bigger screen so I can make sure I'm reading the comments. But 2, I haven't yet tested the DJI wireless mic with the iPhone with a new USB-C connection. And I didn't have time to test it before I went live, and I knew the Samsung was going to work without any kind of dongles or anything. So I went off the Samsung for right now because I have used the I have used the DJI with the old iPhone that I had, the 13 Pro, and it works fine with the Lightning connection. However, when I used it on the iPad, the mini iPad that has a USB-C connection, I found out that if you use the USB-C connection on the DJI transmitter, it will not work. It only works if you do the dongle for the USB-C into the cord, like the 3.5mm cord, and then plugged it in. So I didn't realize that till I was actually trying to live stream one day and there was no audio and I couldn't figure out why. So then I was like, oh, well, this new iPhone is USB-C, but I have not yet tested trying to do a live stream with just the USB-C adapter, and I didn't want to bring out the dongle just yet, so I went with the Samsung. Long story, longer than it needed to be, because none of you asked that. I'm saying that I have these 3 phones, and do I really need to go from the Pixel 7 to the Pixel 8 Pro? No. Do I want the Pixel 8 Pro? Yes, a lot. Am I mad? Not mad. Jealous. Am I jealous that all of these people on my timeline on Twitter are all Team Pixel and getting free baby blue or like the glacier blue? Yes. Do I want one? Yes. I really, really do. I really, really do. Okay. Good shimmy shake. That was sounding fun. Okay, what are we saying here? Message retracted. Oh no, what did you do? Yeah, art saving. Oh, you know what? And that's the thing is like people use what they use. You know, I don't begrudge anyone for using StreamYard. It makes it simple. It's browser based. It's great for a lot of different like reasons. I just haven't been able to get my setup to look good with it. Remember, I told you guys once I did that live stream. Daryl was running it. It was a live stream. We were doing a fundraiser for Owen, and I dialed in using StreamYard because that's what they were using, and I looked like crap next to everybody else. And I know my internet connection was high. I was on Ethernet wired connection. So I'm like, why the heck is it always my, like, whatever it is with StreamYard never looks good? So I was so pissed. I was like, oh, look at this chump here with all the guys looking crispy and like clean, and this girl can't figure out her technology. And I was like, it's not my fault, it's StreamYard. But there's something with my configuration. StreamYard doesn't like it. So let's see here. I've been using Loopback on all my routing needs. StreamYard issues, audio limitations. Yep. Let's see. Isn't Loopback Mac only? Oh, the 7 Pro traded in $199. Man, do it. Yeah. There are a lot of helpful things on OBS. I have both Ecamm and StreamYard. I'm happy to have all the things. It makes it easier. You know who, I know Roberto also uses StreamYard. And he was saying the other day he wasn't able to figure out his RTMP into Amazon. And I was like, man, Amazon is a tricky, finicky little beast though, because I remember it took a while in Ecamm trying to figure out how to get connected to Amazon, because Amazon, they'll only accept 720 and at like 25 frames per second. And if you send it anything else, you get this stupid error message and it won't let you connect and actually go live. And I remember it took me a while in Ecamm to figure that out. And I said the only time I'd ever been successful in hooking up to Amazon was sometimes with Restream. I had done it a couple times. That was a few years ago. And then the last couple of years I've been using Ecamm to do it, but only if I change it to 720 FPS and 720p and 25 FPS. Other than that, I've never been able to get it to work for me. So, never. But we're actually over time, and we were just jibber jabbering and catching up, and I love that actually. I loved a nice little chill stream with y'all. What is this? I can go to Pol's channel from the chat, and they have started that again. They've started what again? Ingest options. Ingest options. You mean like in... I know Restream has an ingest. That's a whole other. Amazon is ridiculous to figure out, but even more to stay on stream or something. Yeah, Amazon is difficult because I've been kicked off streams before. One time I was doing a session where I was blinging out my cowboy boots. By the way, I did take cowboy boots to Dallas because it was Dallas, and I decided to take my red bejeweled ones. And I did get plenty of compliments, which is what I was going for. And next year, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm bringing a different pair of boots. Boots will always be a thing now. They will be. And I was saying that to someone else. I was at a conference. I was speaking. I was like, every conference I've spoken at recently, I've worn cowboy boots. Maybe that should just be a thing. It should always be a thing. At Digimar Seattle, I wore pink cowboy boots. At Digimar Vancouver, I wore those gold cowboy boots. And then at VidSummit, I wore the red bejeweled ones. And I'm like, but I've got more cowboy boots. So I've got all of these different conferences I can go to because I got all these different cowboy boots. So I definitely am going to always have at least one pair of cowboy boots with me at VidSummit. But StreamYard, you just get to choose 720 or 1080. You don't get to choose the frame rate. Oh, interesting. Maybe that's part of it because I don't know if it auto selects or if, I don't know. But I think, yeah, that's one of the only times Restream I was able to do it. And I think maybe Wave Video once I was able to connect to Amazon, and then Ecamm when I mess with the settings. They don't make it, otherwise I only can do it like off my phone. But I thought boots were your thing. I know, they are my thing. So maybe they're just gonna have to be officially always a thing. Oh, I should have a poll. Should I always wear cowboy boots at VidSummit or like any other conference? Even though we're leaving here, let's make this. Should cowboy boots be Shelly's? Where's the comma? Shelly's thing? Question mark. All right, start voting. Start voting. Wait, what happened to my preview? My window is so little. It went from like a full screen preview into like this tiny little preview this big. Oh no, what happened? Anyways, there's 3 votes and it says cowboy boots should totally be my thing. That's not that I needed. Always wear house slippers. The combat boot style myself. Oh, someone voted no. Rude. Rude. It may not be unanimous, but in my heart of hearts, I know it's unanimous. Oh no, someone else voted no. Now you're just doing it to be contrarian. It doesn't matter what you vote, I'm gonna do it anyway. Big furry bunny house slippers. I love it. You can vote however you want to. I'm still going to wear the boots. I'm going to say, oh, because it's the majority. 75% said yes, it will be my thing. Someone hit the wrong button. Exactly. Yeah, it's like, you take it back. You take it back. I ended the poll. Doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna go. But you know, it's so funny. I never followed the crowd. Was it you, James Pruitt? Dang it. This is the last live stream in this house. Oh my gosh. So next week, the office will not be ready, obviously, next week. So it may just be another phone thing, but it will be, not that you guys will be able to tell, a new city in a new house. So thank you all so much for being here and hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Subscribe if you haven't yet, but like there's only 8 of you here and I think every single one of you is already subscribed, but I appreciate you. If you're not yet, subscribe. And I will see you in a video very soon. Maybe I'll have to make 2 Minute Tuesday a thing and I'll bring another one out next Tuesday. Yeah? 2 Minute Tuesday. Who is she? Peter McKinnon. Watch out. Or it should be, what's up, everybody? It's Shelly. Do it. All right. Have a great night, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.